Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Oliver, a veteran with over 20 years of experience in the industry, a speaker, a leader, a manager, a member of multiple boards, a person who shapes the future of testing. Please welcome him warmly and let us dig into his presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Oliver Denoo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to speak about every one of us, everyone we know. We're going to talk about this. Can you read that? Who of you cannot read that? There are some people, indeed. All the other ones can probably read this, which is whatever you want. I just skip the vowels, okay? And some of us have a brain that is connected in such a way that we can just skip the vowels or skip even part of the words and still understand what it's all about. And some of us don't. And this is the first lesson to take in this talk. We are all different. But we are all using products, IT products. And IT products are getting everywhere today because our society is changing. I'm not talking about company change. I'm talking about the society as a whole, you know? IT is everywhere. IT is in your car. IT is in your fridge. IT is in your bank. IT is when you reserve your holiday. IT is in the train. IT is everywhere. And we all are using IT. But all, that's not only us. We are ITers. 20 years ago, as a veteran, I was already there on the deck. 20 years ago, IT was made by ITers for ITers. Those users knew what IT was all about, and if there was a bug, if there was something wrong, we were somewhat offended or annoyed, but we found a workaround, and we were gentle enough and benevolent enough to try to find a workaround. Today, our users are hairdressers, the lady who served the coffee there next door, your grandma, your parents. They are not ITers, and believe me or not, they don't care about IT, they don't even want to care about IT. So we're doing a splendid job, we're doing a splendid stuff every day, but they don't care about it, they just want to use the product. And this is what this presentation is all about. Okay. Startup. The economy changes and we have a lot of startup. And you know why startup fail most of the time? They fail because, basically, not because they have no money. This is one of the reasons, this is one of the top 10, but this is not the main reason. The main reason why they fail is there. They develop something where there is no market need. They develop something that is useless. And then they develop something that is totally unfriendly. They develop something that no one can use, effective and efficient, right? And 40% of them still ignore customers. And I don't know what they mean by ignoring customer. Is it during the phase of conception, during the design of the product or service? Or is it after and there's no service anymore while the stuff is delivered and shipped to the world? But still, this is one of the main reasons why these startups fail. Okay? The question I asked was, users, what the hell do you want? Because we tend to think that users are all the same. We are all the same, so we design some sort of standard products for everyone. But actually and basically, we are all different. Some people could read the title, some people could not. Some people have different cultures. Some people like things, some people don't like other things. Okay? We are all different. But ladies and gentlemen, the problem is that we are designing products and services for everyone today. So we need to accommodate and we need to make sure that if we want our products or services to be used, they are usable and liked by everyone. Okay? We are all different. Of course we are all different. Ladies and gentlemen, what is this object? This is one of the objects I recently bought. I find the concept absolutely wonderful. What is it? Any clue? Oh yes, that's a watch. What time is it? Ha 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 ha. It is exactly 2 hours, 1:45. You see these little balls there? These are magnetically driven inside the box case, inside the jewel case of the watch. This watch has been made for people who cannot read, for people who are blind or visually impaired. It's called the E1 Bradley, and Bradley was a soldier, and still is a soldier because he's still alive, and he was, defusing landmines in Afghanistan. And this is a very tricky job and very dangerous job, and unfortunately for him, one of these landmines exploded, and he lost sight. So he couldn't read. And this company, who already had an experience, the founder in college has an experience with a friend who was visually impaired, they thought, how can I help this hero reading the time? Because he needs to know what time it is, like any one of us. And they designed that stuff. So inside the jewel case, you have these little magnets, and they are driving the balls. And you can say, oh, but this is not usable because if you touch the ball, then you will probably damage the system. Not at all. You can play with these little, metal balls, and you can make them roll if you wish. But if you just twist your wrist again, they will fall into place, and you will get the exact time. Ain't it wonderful? Okay. We, ladies and gentlemen, as users, are full of contradictions. I heard in this wonderful introduction to the conference that we have specificities, we have superhero powers, we have all these kind of special skills, right? We're doing a wonderful job, and this is true, and I'm passionate about this job for more than 20 years now. But we are full of contradiction, because we want to have the top-notch quality, but we don't want to pay the price for it. We want it quick, but we want it fine. You see? So we want everything and the contrary as users. But when you come to the other side of the world, the IT world, when we have to design and test these kind of things, geez, we have to accommodate and we have to balance all these things that are in contradiction. How can you build something that is top-notch quality if you don't pay the price for that? How can you have a fine German or Italian luxury car if you don't put the right money on the table? Is it possible? Not sure. We guys, this is coming from Don Norman. Anyone knows Don Norman? Don Norman is a specialist in UX and UI. He's an American guy, and he founded a company in the US with Jakob Nielsen. Anyone familiar with that name, Jakob Nielsen? Usability guru. They operate a company called NNG, Nielsen Norman Group. And they publish very often these kind of little newsletter on usability and usability tips and tricks. This, if you're interested in the topic, this is probably a first shop to go, let's say. Okay? And their news are so well done that they even tell you how much time it will normally take you to read the article in the newsletter. So you know that if it's a 10-minute article and you have 10 minutes right now, you can read it over lunch. And if you need 2 hours to read it, which is definitely not the case in most occasions, then you might probably wait a little bit longer and read it on the train or wherever you are. And this Norman guy made very nice studies about complexity. And people like complex stuff, actually. If you look at that, this is how user reacts. If you go that way, there, it is too simple. And if it's too simple, it is boring. We don't like too simple stuff. We like to be challenged. We like to learn something. This is why we're here, by the way. We like to be challenged. We like to learn. So if it's too simple, we will just drop. A simple calculator with just plus and minus is something that is absolutely boring. We will never use that tool, right? If we go there, this is even worse. This is where you are an expert in IT. What is an expert in IT? Expert in IT is, according to the OECD, somebody who can do complex mailing, reserve a room through an application, and aggregate different contents from here and there. This is 5% of the population. 5. 0, 5. Okay? They are experts. This is not your hairdresser. This is not the lady next door. This is not common users. Okay? And these guys are extremely becoming berserk if they are experts and they can't use the product. This is typically my kind of behavior. I wouldn't qualify myself as an expert, but compared to the lady next door, maybe my hairdresser, I'm an expert. And if I'm using a product and it just doesn't work, you know what? Whoosh, through the window. I hate that. Okay? And in between, this is the safe place. This is where we like using the product. It's complex enough. It has enough features, enough possibilities, enough challenges. And we love to use it, and we know how it works. And maybe we need to learn a little bit, but we practice and we learn and we achieve our goals or whatever. Okay? And this one is also showing, this is the one there on top, there. Okay? It's showing what? It's showing that we evolve over time. So we start as a rookie. I started testing as a rookie. I didn't even know what testing was all about 20 or 25 years ago. I was thinking I would be testing Microsoft product. Absolutely not. I was testing in a bank and I was automating payments. This was my first mission. Okay? So I started as a rookie. Today, well, I learned a little bit. And this evolves. Because I learned a little bit, my look and my vision over testing is different from what it used to be when I started my career. And the same goes with product. If you're an expert in gaming, well, you expect something else from the game than just the rookie stuff. This is user experience in real life.
Hey, just that, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
Username?
Oh, Nick M?
No.
NM1983?
No.
Zandy Pops?
Sorry.
Zandy Pops?
No, okay. Don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever. Please listen carefully to this bread license agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based products for any purposes prohibited by United Kingdom law, including without limitation, design, development, manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear or biological weapons.
Tick.
I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, hey.
Just one loaf, sir.
Yeah, we just...
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
That's not even a word.
Okay, how about this one?
You know what, forget it.
Or this one?
Hippo Potter Nice.
You're in.
Great, I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
Plus express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's,
Come to the information desk. Sharon, the information desk. Thank you.
standard.
Standard.
Standard delivery, that's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what, I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, OK. You want the take-home today price? Well, that's £3.27.
You know what, I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
Dear customer.
Would you go and shop there? Who in this room, I see a lot of young people, not a dinosaur like me, but lots of young people, that's fine. Who among you in the audience is a gamer, somewhat a gamer, playing computer games? I was expecting more, but whatever, okay. Gamers, I'm a gamer myself. I'm a gamer dinosaur. That's wonderful. And I play games on console because now this is probably the easiest way to get into gaming, right? And I suddenly discovered this wonderful game, which is Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it's been ported to PS4, PlayStation. Wonderful game because if you are, suffering from vertigo, then it's terrible for you because you're just climbing over the top of buildings, jumping from one side to another, completing missions and so on and so forth. Wonderful game. But the problem is that usability of that game is absolutely terrible because at a certain moment in time, you are going to, run on the wall. I'm going to display. No, I'm not going. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to display. But you have to run on the wall. And if you need to run on the wall, you have to do some combination. The problem is that combination is so weird that you have to get a trigger up trigger down and the lower trigger down. And then you have to control the person there with the joystick and the other one for the camera. And you fall every time. At least when you are me, a 50 years guy, dinosaur playing games. Maybe you don't fall, but I do. And if I fall once, okay, that's the difficulty of the game, complexity, that's good, it's normal. Okay, I have to learn. If you do it twice, okay, maybe I'm not that good, but this is okay. If you do it 3 times or 4 times, you just, use it as a kind of a glass hanger or something. Just whoosh the CD, right? Because you can't complete the mission. It's so frustrating, okay? And the problem is that this game, though it is absolutely brilliant then, has just one little thing to do to be perfect. Just allow me to, redraw the map. Just make sure that the commands are applicable to me. Just putting these triggers to the X or square or whatever other kind of commands I have at my disposal. And it is totally impossible. There's no option for that. So I dropped the game. Sorry, guys. Can you read that? My first contact with the website, and I don't even know what they're doing, and I don't even know how I landed there. Okay, but I landed there. I happened to land there. This is the magic of internet. You don't know what you're looking for, and you get exactly what you're not looking for. And the first time, it was absolutely brilliant, because you have all these characters coming down the screen one by one. It was absolutely beautiful. But the problem was that the developer just forgot to wipe them off when they were there. And the animation was so quick that they overlapped each other. So you couldn't even have the time to process the reading that the other one was already there. And then finally, you end up with this. Wonderful mashup, right? Okay. What do we need to know to avoid these kind of problems? Well, first of all, you need to keep your promises. If you promise something to the user, whether it is marketing, whether it is whatever, and I know I heard from the opening that you don't need to listen to marketing, neither to HR people. I can understand that, but still, we're using that to sell our product, are we? So, keep your promises. Make sure that they get what they expect. I'm not sure that the American understand the concept of European stuff, but whatever. And there, guys, there. Of course, it will never work. This is an Xbox One. This is an Xbox controller. How the hell do you want this to run on a PS4? They are competitors, aren't they? And oh, by the way, I haven't got the time to go into that, but if you look at these different control, these different pedals, it's been designed in such a way that if you switch from one to the other, it's extremely difficult because the position of X and A and so on is totally different, right? From the 3 main systems. So it's, if you're just reading, oh, I have to press X, then you have to remember that you're on a big Xbox or that you're on a different system. Okay, keep your promises. Any people from HP in the room? No? It's a pity. There's nobody, anyone from HP in the room where I'm speaking. This is absolutely fantastic. I have a HP printer at home. And you know the trick today, the HP printer, it's valuable for any kind of printer anyway. If you buy the printer, it costs you less money than if you print the cartridge, if you buy the cartridge after all. Okay, they are very, very expensive, and that's the trick. Gentleman in the back door, in the back, can you please? Yeah, thank you. So it's extremely expensive. But, you know, as I'm an ITer, I'm somebody who is there and I know the, QA investment, R&D and so on and so forth. I decided to buy the genuine ones for that damn amount of money. And when I got a box, there was this little sticker there, and you can go to the website and you have the possibility to win blah, 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 blah. Oh, great. So now I get more money more value for my money, sorry. That's wonderful. So I went to the website the first day and it said, well, we have an error of 500 and you cannot reach the service, blah, blah, blah. Okay, end up in frustration. This is not today that I will receive my gift, but no problem. I go the day after, still the error. Okay, but I'm kind of resilient guy and very benevolent. And oh, by the way, I paid the dirty money, so I just wanted to have my stuff back. And you know what? After a week, I got there and the website is up and the service is running, but the offer is over. Thank you very much, HP. I love that. I love you. Next time I'll buy an Epson. This other one is also quite fantastic. This is offering you a bunch of books for just $99. $99 for that amount of books might be a deal, okay? And then you go to the website and you want to process. And then it's not 99, but it's going to 999. This is not okay, right? And all over the place, you have this switch from 99 to 995. And you don't know actually how much you're going to pay. Will I put my credit card number and data in there? No, I won't. Okay? These are the side effects. We're building products and services, and we are absolutely wonderful in there, but there are side effects to what we do, and we have to think further than just the wonderful stuff that we're going to offer the world. 2 examples. Do you know that application, that stuff there? You know what it is? Strava. And you know the story about Strava? Strava is a wonderful application if you're running. It can share with your fellow runners where you are running and give you the best itinerary, the best pathway to run. Let's say the stuff that Lucian shows this morning. If you wish to do jogging in a mountain, this is where you have to go. And this is shared with all of you through the application. Okay, that's absolutely wonderful. And it gets a hotspot on a map. So if you go to a foreign country and you know, oh, I would like to run in the morning, which is the best itinerary to run in the morning, you open the map, you enlarge, 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 and then you get the spots around, if there are Strava users that already did it. It's absolutely wonderful, and you have countries that are fully colored, and you have countries that are much less colored. Okay? The problem is that if you enlarge a country, and just take by chance Afghanistan. Afghanistan is totally black on the map. But if you enlarge, 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 then you find these little red dots. And then you start thinking, who the hell has got enough money in Afghanistan to buy an iPhone, to get a Strava application, who likes to run and would like to share with friends where they are running? Soldiers, American soldiers. Oh yeah, of course, this is the American soldier base and airport. Oh, but this was not known. Oh, this is a secret base. Oh, thank you very much. And I know where they're running. Is this? Here we go. Ain't it fabulous? Okay? This one is even better, you know? That lady, you see, she's pregnant. Wonderful. And you have a nice store in the US called Target. This is kind of big supermarket, big department store. And these guys offer coupons, depending on what you buy. Okay? And they use big data. I heard that big data is not famous anymore, but no problem. They use big data. And you know what they do with big data? They just see your consuming habits, and they try to offer you and push you what you like more, or what you would be willing to like. A little bit like Amazon. If you go to Amazon, oh, you've seen that, then you might be interested by this. Okay? That's a service, that's cool. And the problem in there was that that guy received a coupon, and oh, we've seen that your consumption changed a little bit. And actually, when girls get pregnant, they change in consuming habits. And it is not that they go for diapers and these kind of nice plush stuff and so on and so forth. No, 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 no. They're just using unscented cream, for instance, because the normal scent, the normal perfume of the cream that they put on their hand or your face or whatever is, you know, getting too hard because the hormonal change and so on that are, you know, related to giving birth soon. And then they change these kind of things, and the big data has analyzed. And they realized that most of the women were getting to these kind of products unless, well, and before they were to other kind of products. So they sent a coupon. The problem was that that lady was 16, and the father was not aware, and he opened the mailbox and got the coupons. So he was very offended. You know, Americans get very quickly offended. So he called and said, "What the hell are you doing? And how can you say, oh, we are sorry, this is a mistake, blah, blah, blah," and so on and so forth. We apologize, and we give you a free chicken McNugget, and so on and so forth. And then the lady came back, and the father said, "Well, you don't know what happened. It's absolutely unbelievable. Eh? They just sent us coupon because they thought that you were pregnant." And then she started to blush, and then here's the story. Eh? But this is a real privacy breach. We're talking about GDPR and these kind of things, but this is even worse, right? Okay. So one of the things that we never think of is that we're using our services or products in a totally different way than how we designed. So we assume that we would use the product, let's say, when we are in the office, or maybe during lunchtime at a restaurant, or sitting on a sofa and just reading a book or watching TV at the same time, and these kind of things. But you never know exactly how it is used, and you never know under which conditions our software and products or services are used. And What I would like you to think about is, when I'm designing this application, when I'm designing this product, when I'm designing this device, and sending it to the world, have I thought of how it will be used and where it will be used and when it will be used? Is it cold? Is it dark? Is it overlighted? Anyone has these brilliant smartphone when it's a brilliant sunny day? Can you use that? Can you read the screen? No, it's difficult. When it's very cold, and you have very cold winters in Poland sometimes, depending on the place and depending on the time. Well, when you have to, tap on your phone, this is complex because it's very cold. So you use these gloves, but these gloves do not conduct electricity, so it doesn't work with the screen. So you have to buy a special piece of gloves, and so on and so forth. You see what I mean? That's about stress. When we are working in a stressful environment, who is working in a stressful environment here in this room? Thank you very much. At least there are a couple of people that dare to say, yes, guys, we are in a stressful environment. And when we have to make quick decisions in a stressful environment, our brain is totally disconnected, and we make the wrong decision sometimes. Okay? That is about fatigue. Do we sleep enough? Do we sleep well? That's about noisy background, humidity, and so on and so forth, right? Okay? This is an example. Well designed, isn't it? Well, if you live at Costa Brava, where there's no snow, perfect. Okay? So we are using stuff in totally different ways, totally different places than we used to be. People are using smartphone while biking. People are using smartphone while driving, which is completely silly, but they do. Okay? So if the product is too complex, it can kill them. What shall we do to avoid this? These are the main heuristics. And these are coming from the same group, Norman Nielsen. This is Jakob Nielsen heuristic. And what he says is, if you need to design a good product for good users, it needs to be effective, so they can achieve their goal. Well, this is feature, okay? It needs to be efficient, so they need to reach their goal as quickly as possible. Remember when we started to design the web and counted the number of clicks? Now it is not that useful anymore, but this was one of these efficiency side effect or collateral damage, I would say. Okay? It has to be learnable, so easy to learn. The first time the user encounters it, it should be easy, it should be natural. And this is extremely, extremely difficult to design, because we're not all the same. It needs to be memorable, so people can repeat easily and remember how to use it. They don't need to learn every time and relearn every time the product. Okay? It needs to help you, because you will make errors. And when we fall, we're always happy if someone, catches up and help us a bit. This is the same for product and services. We need to prevent people to do silly things with the product. Okay? And the most difficult overdoers is user satisfaction, because user is never satisfied. We are never users. As users, we are never satisfied. But we try to get that, and this is the like on Facebook, okay? If you're satisfied, you will recommend. Okay, status feedback, what does it mean? This is this kind of control. It is absolutely easy to see there how much progress you've made. And if you're just downloading this big Windows upgrade, and you know that it's only 2%, and in 2 minutes you have to leave, then you're in deep trouble, because you can't stop the computer, and yeah. So you need to understand where you are and where you're heading to. It's very easy there to see these buttons, it's on or it's off. It's even lighted, so you know that this is the on-off button because this is the normal icon, this is the standard icon for on and off, and you know because it is lighted that it's on. And if it's not lighted, that it's off. Or the LED is broken, which is another story. Okay? So you know all these things. This is feedback, and it's very important. Because feedback means, psychologically speaking, you're in control. You know what happens. You're not lost in space. If you can make it matching with the real world, this is excellent. We're using desktop every day. Whether it is Windows or Linux or whatever operating system we have all these concepts of desktop. And we have files that we put in folders. And we have this trash can where we can put the folders or the files. This is exactly like home. Though this is just a computer screen. Where is the desktop? This is just a flat screen. Okay? But we immediately understand the concept. It's easy to get. It's easy to memorize. It's easy to, get a grip on. Same with bugs. Have you seen a bug in your code recently? No, I mean a real bug. Have you seen a butterfly or something out of your code? Oh, damn, it's getting off my PC. No, it used to be the case in the 50s or 60s or whatever, but it's not the case anymore. But we still call it bug because it's easy. This little Katniss, the padlock, that it is linked to security, it is linked to locking something. It's clear. User must be in control, okay? You need to know what is going on. That is absolutely, absolutely crucial. Because if you're not in control, you get stressed. You don't know what's going on. It's there, my computer is running, but what is it doing? Is it going to end? Am I going to get what I need? Okay? So you need to be in control, and you need to have the possibility, whenever it is possible, because it's not always possible, I know, but you need to have the possibility to push the red button and stop the process safely, and then it rolls back, and nothing happened. Like in this big factory, you have these big buttons, and if someone is caught or if there is a problem, you just press the button and the whole line stops. This is exactly what I mean here. Okay? It has to be coherent, it has to be standard. Guys, don't reinvent the world. We have standards, we have guidelines. They can evolve over time. And I know that the web design has evolved over time and products have evolved over time. That's not a problem. That is fine, but please do not reinvent hot water every time. Because people get confused. Okay? That's about making sure that people do not make errors. Okay? If this is important there, and you're going to stop something important, then you make something, on top. You put a lid on top so that nobody just hurts it by mistake. Right? This is exactly the same with this calendar control. I'm a dinosaur, I told you. 25 years ago, when I was testing a product, you entered the date within 3 fields. So my game was to enter the 31st of February 1905. And I enjoyed the system crashing. That was it. Today we have these kind of controls, and we cannot make a mistake in the date anymore. Well, we can still enter the wrong date. That's not a problem. But this date will be valid and will not crash the system anymore, hopefully. If it crashes the system, then you better change the developers. Okay? You have this Google stuff. This Google stuff is absolutely wonderful. You start typing, and if you activated the service, or if you're totally paranoid you didn't do that, which is fine as well, okay? But if you're not, then it helps you and gives you what is the more likely kind of research you're aiming at. What kind of search are you performing, and how can I help you with kind of standard requests from other users? It's absolutely wonderful. It saves time, isn't it? This USB stuff, okay? Who has never encountered that USB put in the wrong way and having to twist it, okay? There's a big trick, okay? This stuff is sealed, and in the middle you have this line, okay? This is always down. Unless they built the computer the wrong way. Okay, recognizable, memorizable. It is to help you understand and remind and recall what you did before. It is preventing you from having to learn all over again the system. Okay? And this is how they help you. These kind of control standards, it comes to the same. If it's standard, then everyone knows it, then it is memorizable. So this is why you see the same kind of pictos there, okay? This has been totally hated by the people. We just got rid of this, tile approach from Windows. Yeah, I'm on time, no problem. And they got rid of that because it was such a change with the previous version of Windows, okay? But from memorability or recognizability, it was, in my opinion, not bad at all. It was ugly, but it was not bad at all.
Er det ikke mulig å få starta denne støvsugeren, da?
This is how we memorize. This guy probably has a boat or, I don't know, a mower. And yeah, that's a little bit different here, okay? Flexibility, in-use efficiency. So you have to make sure there with this control, for instance, that you know where you are, okay? Oh, this one is absolutely wonderful. I love it. This is how you get a T-shirt or a polo shirt or something, okay? And if you don't know the size, and oh, by the way, even if you know the size, you don't know how they will size it for you. Because if I go to Spain and buy an XL, for instance, I'm quite a big guy. I'm into fooding, so that's no big secret. But if I go to Spain and buy a T-shirt for me, I probably have the 25 XL stuff. And if I go to the US, probably the large is surely enough, all right? So this website is helping me and say, okay, what is the number of centimeters over your waist, okay? And how tall are you? And based upon that, it recommends me a size. And you bet one, it works. So they have an idea of my shape just by having these two measurements, and they push the right product to me. And pushing the right product to me means that I'm happy, but also means that there's no post back. I'm not going to return the stuff. And in retail, this is more than 30% of the products that are returned, because people just try and then return. Okay. Oh, these wonderful robots. So we were talking about IA and so on and so forth, and it's absolutely wonderful. AI in English. It's absolutely wonderful when you have these robots, when they work. Because sometimes I got this robot on a page, and I'm moving to another page, and I got again the robot. Can I help you? No, I already been through that, and no, you can't help me. And then, can I help you? Sorry, why don't you go and play in the mixer? Sorry, I didn't get a question. Okay, next. That's about aesthetic. Aesthetic and zenitude. Just a small word about this one. Do you know that? This is a juicer. This is a juicer from a famous French designer. It's absolutely posh. It's extremely expensive, more than 200 euro or something, right? Just for a juicer. And believe me, it doesn't work. You get all the juice over your fingers and the table and so on and so forth. But it's so posh to put it on the table and invite your friends and, oh, you look at that. It's so beautiful, eh? It's so expensive. Oh, you can't imagine. Well, okay. You got it, okay? Identify incorrect errors. You know what I mean, okay? We need to help our users to identify and correct these errors, okay? And I know nobody reads the manual anymore. We get it online. Oh, that's wonderful when you're not connected and you're in deep, problem. And then you have to go online to get the manual. I love that. I think that's very, very usable, okay? These are the kind of things that can help you. These are the kind of things that you should get an access to if you're lost in space. Because again, our users are everyone. They're not ITers, they don't understand us. We don't speak the same language, guys, okay? And please ask yourself and ask your customers the right question.
Does your dog bad? No? Oh. Nice dog. I thought you said your dog did not bite.
That is not my dog.
Ask yourself and the customers the right question. Thank you very much for your attention.